Hi everyone, welcome back to another gameplay of Infinitode 2. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to maximize the basic tower ultimate to build a super strong Gauss with the highest possible bonus damage from his level 2. I already anticipated in my last video about this feature, and now it's gonna be very important, like depending on the amount of research you have and the difficulty on which you're playing on, the overall effect. So if you're playing on normal, you are going to be limited to your max normal research. So your Gauss is going to have a certain level, your basic tower is going to have a certain level, your overall stats are going to be lower, and therefore you're going to be able to reach only a certain amount of damage. If you're playing on endless, of course, you can exploit the fact that your towers are much stronger, you have stronger general stats, and your modifiers are also a lot stronger. So I have max endless, and I'm gonna just show you the maximum possible damage you can achieve having max endless. I will be playing on the lowest difficulty, of course, so in that way the enemies are not gonna be strong. And now the custom map is gonna look like this. I'm placing this custom like I built it in this way because of the fact that I will not stop just when I'm gonna be cloning Gauss and I'm gonna be giving it a lot of damage, but I'm also gonna keep on going and I'm gonna show you how to build even more damage afterwards, so after the cloning using the basic tower ultimate. So that's why I placed all the miners around here so that you can place your experience modifiers inside, you can have your basic tower, you can give as much experience as possible. And I'm also placed this damage platform, so in that way I'm boosting even more the damage, especially from Gauss. And here I have a range platform because of the fact that here I'm gonna place a freezing tower. Portals, very important. Choose the portals that have the lowest difficulty possible, that do not have healers and do not have armor enemies. If they also do not have flying enemies, that's the best. But unfortunately, it can be pretty hard to find a portal that doesn't have those 3 type of enemies. So like, actually it's 4 type of enemies, because you don't need to have helis, jets, healers, and armored. So it's pretty hard. So that's why I just recommend to go for no healers and no armored. And if you can also find some portals without, for example, like this one, without flying enemies, that's the best. As base, you just need to go for 3 stats: experience multiplier, passive experience at max upgrade level, and damage. All the other things are a bonus, so don't really worry about the other things. For example, especially range. I think range could be pretty useful if you have some more through your base. And I also have equipped the Zeta Core because of the fact that it can boost the amount of experience I can give with the modifiers, the experience multiplier, the max passive experience. It can boost the power, it can boost damage, it can boost just everything from my tower, so it can further increase the damage I can get. As abilities, you're gonna need, in this case, Overload, Ball Lengthening, and Loik as your 3 core abilities. Then I just recommend, especially if you're trying to beat the highest possible number of waves, to go for some global abilities like Firestorm and Nuke. And then last one, you can go with whatever you want. Smoke Bomb or like Fireball, Blizzard, Windstorm, like anything can work. And yeah, that's it. So let's just jump here into the gameplay. I'm gonna go slow at the beginning so you guys can follow what I'm gonna do, and also I can explain to you. So I'm gonna place these other 3 towers, so Freezing, Splash, and Flamethrower, to help my basic tower in the early waves. So I will not need to build like other towers or to spend too much cash on that, and I can just focus on maximizing my miners and to give as much experience as possible to this basic tower. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go slow here. I recommend having instant auto wake call off, but having the auto button, so that as soon as you defeat all the enemies in one wave, you're gonna be calling the next one. And what you're going to do at the beginning especially is place these 3 miners and then place mining speed modifiers for these 3. So that's the thing you're going to do at the beginning. Then you're gonna build miners here in the left or in the right side, is the same. Remember, Scalar is the resource that is mined the fastest, and therefore should be the one that is gonna make the modifiers give the highest amount of experience. So 2 more in this case in the left side, getting another experience modifier, and then placing 2 more mining speed modifiers. Alright, just like that. And you can see that this basic is already earning a ton of experience, and it's almost like it's gonna be now level 100, so max level. And all the experience is gonna earn from now on is gonna be the experience that is gonna be given to the clone when you're gonna be cloning Gauss. So that's why it's important really maximizing and giving as much experience as possible. Alright, so that's 2 more miners, that's another experience modifier, so 2 more of these mining speed modifiers as well. And another thing is that when you get 4 points, unlock this from the Zeta core, because that's going to increase even more the experience you give through the modifiers. So now it's 80 instead of like 72, I think it was before. So of course that's a help. I'm gonna now level up these towers a little bit. Alright. And then just keep on placing miners. In this case I'm gonna start going fast because it's just placing these last 2 miners in this corner, getting some more mining speed modifiers, so 2 more, and just keep on going here with this left branch on the core. So yeah, that's just it. And now placing the last 2 miners in these top corners. And another thing is that when you get the Zeta core here, when you get passive experience, I'm at the great level, also level up basic up to level 10. So that's just it. Alright, so that's the last 2 miners for the game. I'm gonna be placing now more modifiers. So the last 3 modifiers that I have pretty much. I'm gonna place actually 2 first. And then the last one I'm gonna be placing it in a couple of waves. Alright, and after this, just going for the right side of the Zeta core. Should be good. And let's upgrade here these towers over 3 now, so that I do some more damage with them. And let's get also some modifiers here. Why not? So that they do more damage. Alright, so let's just place the last mining speed modifier up here. Alright, so that's pretty much the setup. You can see that I do not have any more mining speed modifiers, and I placed as many of these experience ones as I could, so to give the maximum experience possible to this basic tower. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna slowly upgrade all the miners, like here level 2. So you're gonna just boost slightly the speed of each of these miners. Alright, just keep on going here with the Zeta core. Alright, so that's brute. Alright, just keep on going, and now once you have all the miners level 2 that I'm gonna be able to get right now, right, that's when you wanna start increasing your miners up to level 10. Go first for the miners that are touching 3 experience modifiers. So because they're giving more experience overall to the basic tower. So go for this one right here, this one, and this one. So those are the 3 miners that you're gonna upgrade first, level 10. So I'm gonna start with this one, for example. Then I'm gonna go on to this one, and then lastly to that one. And yeah, just in the time, just keep on taking an eye here at the number of waves. And if you see that you take too long to destroy the bosses, just move on and upgrade with the towers. For example, you can upgrade Splash up to level 5 or level 6. Also Flamethrower, and also Freezing. So that's pretty much it. So that's one miner here, level 10 already. I'm upgrading now the last one, the second one. And I'm just upgrading it like as soon as I have enough cash. I'm not placing any bounties here. I don't think going with bounties is an advantage. So I'm just spending all the cash I'm earning right away. And you can see that most of my cash is coming from calling the next wave early. You can see that every time I'm earning like 1.3 thousand, and the more you play on, the more cash you get. And especially after the boss waves, you earn just a ton of cash. So that's my main source of income. I'm not really, like, even if I would have 4 or 5 bounties, I will only get 500 more cash at the end of each round. And as you can see here, it's really not significant compared to the amount of cash I'm earning from calling the waves early. Now, after you get these 3 miners, level 10, then here it's up to you which of the next miners you're going to upgrade. In my case, for example, I'm going to go for these 4 right here, because of the fact that they are touching 2 different experience modifiers, and they are being given by 3 different mining speed modifiers, the extra speed. So I'm gonna go for these 4 next. Any of the 4, I'm gonna start just from 1. It's not really important which one you choose, just go for them quickly. So try to really upgrade them like as soon as you have enough cash. And unfortunately, what happens with these miners is this. The more miners you place, the more you upgrade them, the more expensive the next one becomes also to upgrade and to max. So that's of course something that happens, and yeah, so that's just it. Unfortunately, there isn't much that you can do. Let's see here the spider boss. I should be able to burn it because I got flamethrower level 8, especially for that, for the metaphor that it's the spider boss. It's the only boss that is gonna disable your towers, your offensive towers. So if you don't have enough damage from flamethrower, so if you can burn it fast enough, it's gonna be able to walk forward, and you're gonna need to use an ability. So just make sure before like wave 220 comes out to use to upgrade your flamethrower so that it deals more damage. Alright, so upgrading here the damage modifiers. Right. And as you can see, I'm slowly here just upgrading all these miners as soon as I have enough cash. So let's get also Splash now, level 8. I got here the ultimate also from Splash, that definitely helps. And the ultimate from Flamethrower is going to be especially important for the late game, because it's going to combo very well with Gauss, and it's going to one-shot enemies. So with Gauss' first ability, you can take down enemies up to like when they have 6.5% HP left. And then with the Flamethrower ultimate, you can one-shot them, because it's going to one-shot enemies below a certain threshold. So yeah, it's a very, very powerful combo. And that is going to be the combo that's going to allow me to survive so long. Because even if enemies are going to start having like billions and billions of HP, the fact that it's always a percentage damage that one-shots the enemies makes it powerful. And you never lose. You never lose. And of course, that is because of the fact that Gauss is going to be so strong that is going to be always able to bring down every single enemy up to 6.5% HP left. So the whole strategy works because of the fact that Gauss, when enemies are going to have billions of HP, Gauss is going to be doing trillions of damage. And therefore, you can always do more damage, and you can always keep destroying the enemies. Now, after you get these 7 miners level 10, see that I have 7 minus level 10, this is where you want to use 15 overloads. So you should have your energy maxed. And now before using overloads, just max your towers here, level 10. So I'm gonna just do a couple waves until I can get them all level 10. And now when you use overloads, just use all 15 in a row, so you can stack your time here as much as possible. You're now giving a ton of speed to your miners, and therefore now your basic tower is gonna start earning a ton of experience very, very quickly. Of course, enemies are very, very tough, so the only way to survive is to use 3 ball lightnings. And that's it. So you can see here, basic tower, how quickly it's gaining experience. And I'm gonna use this time, as overloads are continuing, to keep on upgrading the miners. So I'm gonna upgrade every miner here level 5. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep on going just like this. So I'm earning a ton of experience here. You can see basic tower now already 440 million and counting. Even if I go slow, you can see the amount of experience it's earning. Like, it's earning millions of experience per second. It's just insane. Yeah, let's go for this. And the only thing you have to be careful is where you see your ball lightning expiring. So when you don't see your ball lightnings anymore, that's where you wanna use more ball lightnings. Or in this case, I'm gonna just use Loic, exploiting this very nice first portion of the map. That is a straight line. Okay, so that's the boss. The boss is always gonna be able to go forward, so don't worry about that. You're gonna lose lives regardless of what you do. And I just want to show you something cool here, probably after a couple more waves. So let's use now 3 ball lightnings, right? Alright, so that's level 5, and yeah, look at this now. See, the basic is approaching getting 1 billion of HP, of experience. Now look what happens when it reaches 1 billion. Look here, look at this number. Boom! It says a bazillion. So you stop seeing the numbers. You don't know exactly how much experience the basic tower has. It says only bazillion. Now, from my tests, I've been able to see that even if here it says bazillion, this basic tower is still earning more experience. So now it's past 1 billion. It's probably approaching 1.1 billion. And it still keep on going. So it's not that because it says now bazillion that you're not earning any more experience. You're still earning. So yeah, that's something that's cool. And I was able to find as I was doing these tests, trying to maximize the damage from my Gauss. And yeah, I just think it's very, very cool. All right, so let's use here another Loic, or yeah, just 3 more ball lightnings, I guess. That should be good. Alright, let's just keep on upgrading this last miners here level 5. And then... oh, that's the spider boss actually coming out. So it's more likely it's gonna be able to walk past because it has so much HP because of the 15 overloads that, yeah, you're gonna lose all those lives. Just 20 seconds to overload, and then it's gonna be over. So you're gonna be able to start destroying the enemies again very nicely, but you're gonna lose all this extra nice mining speed. So you're not gonna be able to anymore give as much experience as possible to this basic tower, but that's okay. Alright, and that's it. So overloads are over. This tower now has probably 1.5 billion experience stored inside, or something like that. And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep going a little bit further. So you can see that it's wave 329 and counting, 330. All these miners now, look at the amount of double time they have in terms of mining speed. So they have very high time. So what you're gonna do is, after the boss in wave 340, you wanna disable auto wave. So just like this, you're gonna disable it, and what happens here is that you're gonna stop gaining coins from destroying the enemies very quickly, but you're gonna be able to still gain your resources. And remember, all this time you're still giving experience to the basic tower. So it's not like you're not gaining anything. You're still farming, you're still gaining all of these resources, and you're still giving a ton of experience. Of course, because of the fact that it's you don't have overloads, the speed of these miners, it's not as fast. So you're not really gaining a ton of experience, so you're gonna need to wait a little bit of time, but you're still gaining some. So normally what I recommend is look here at the score. When you reach about 440 million in terms of score, that should be enough experience stored inside BASIC to be able to obtain Gauss that is the strongest Gauss, so giving it the highest possible damage. By just commenting and by just talking to other players on Infinitode 2, we were able to conclude, and also by some tests I was able to do, is that no matter how much time, like after a while, like it seems that Basic Tower cannot earn any more experience. And therefore, what happens is that even if you wait more waves, because it cannot earn any more experience, it's not gonna give any more experience to Gauss. And so, you're not gonna be able to gain any higher damage through Gauss ability, second ability, and therefore waiting more time to use the cloning, it's pointless after that stage. So that's why, like, from the few tests I was able to do, I think that around 440 million score is about the time where you reach that cap of experience through basic, and therefore when you're gonna clone the new Gauss, you're gonna be able to give it the maximum experience possible, and you're not gonna be really losing more time, because even if you would wait more to give more experience to this basic, it wouldn't be able to earn more. So that's the reasoning behind, and yeah, I'm just waiting here. So if I can get enough cash, I'll keep on upgrading these miners. Of course, I'm now maxing these ones in the corners, and the last two I'm gonna max are gonna be probably this one and then this one. This is gonna be the last one because it's receiving only one mining speed modifier, so it doesn't have much speed. So this one has 2 modifiers. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna just show you here how to do the cloning, so that you don't mess up, because you can mess up this process. If you don't pay attention, it may happen that the basic tower is gonna give all the experience to Gauss before you can activate Gauss' second ability, and that's gonna just screw you up, because you're not gonna be able to earn those thousands amount of damage, and so you're gonna have done all this for nothing. So yeah, just be careful. And yeah, the maximum damage you can earn on a Gauss through this cloning process, so through basic, is actually 364,185%. So 364,185% is the maximum damage you can give to Gauss through this cloning process, so through the basic ultimate, and through all this experience being given at once. Alright, so 438 million, so just 2 million to go. Bosses, enemies are still pretty easy, as you can see. So yeah, your towers are doing enough damage there. And the next boss is gonna come in wave 380, and that should be, though, you should have already Gauss from that wave. Now, of course, the amount of damage you can give to Gauss depends on 2 different things. If you want to have a Gauss that's going to be able to attack the enemies, or if you're going to have a Gauss that's going to just be there, it's going to have a ton of damage, but it's not going to be really able to attack. So in the first case, you're going to need to place your Gauss right here, so that the clone is going to spawn in this bottom corner. You're going to then have to sell this modifier, so then this platform becomes available, and that's where the clone is going to appear. And therefore the clone, by being closer to these miners, is going to be able to gain the resources from this miner. It's going to be able to shoot. Instead, if you're going to just build the highest possible damage on Gauss, but a Gauss that is not going to be functional, so it's not going to be able to actually shoot and destroy the enemies, you can place your Gauss down there and therefore the clone is gonna be spawning up here, and therefore you can see that you have 8 platforms around it where you can place like 4 damage modifiers, you can place 4 power modifiers, so you can boost the damage from Gauss as much as possible. So yeah, it depends on these two things, and it really depends on what you prefer and what you're looking for. If you're looking just for raw damage about having a Gauss that cannot even attack, then you can go for the second option. If you're gonna do something like you want to create a Gauss but that still can, you know, attack and be useful, then you can go for the first option. In my case, I'm gonna go, of course, for the first option because I don't really think it's important, like having a Gauss with a ton of damage, but then that cannot even attack, right? So that's why I'm gonna go for the second option, and I'm gonna be building the clone down there. So see here, the score is getting close to 440 million, so that should be enough. And all right, and here we go. So, oh wait, there is still some time left. All right, here we go. So at this stage, what you're gonna do is you're gonna build a Gauss, as I said before. You're gonna sell 1 modifier. So in this way, we're gonna use the clone. The clone is gonna be spawning right in this spot. So also Gauss is gonna have good peers up here, and yeah, for all those reasons. Now, very important is where you exit from the game and you reopen it. This is very, very important because this is gonna reset everything, and therefore, as you're gonna use the cloning, so you're gonna click on the ultimate, and then you're gonna activate from Gauss the second ability right afterwards. It should be 2 different frames, so there shouldn't be any other frames per second inside these 2 processes, and therefore you should be able to gain all the experience from basic. It should be given to the second ability from Gauss. So you click on this, that's the clone, and you're gonna click, the first thing you do before you click anything else is you click this ability. If everything has been successful, as soon as you start your game, you should be able to earn this amount of experience. Now in this case, I think I messed up because I'm 2% short right here in terms of bonus damage. So I guess I should have waited maybe like 1 or 2 more waves. But yeah, the maximum damage, as I said before, you can give through this cloning process is 364,185. You can see that here I have a 3. So I messed up somehow. I didn't wait long enough for this basic. It's weird because like this score should be good enough. Maybe I should have waited, like as I said before, 1 or 2 more waves. But yeah, anyway, it's still good. And of course, at this stage, you have, you know, all this damage. This Gauss is gonna be operational, and I just recommend here to like sell the basic tower, sell the original Gauss that was cloned, and you can place here, for example, a damage modifier. And here I'm gonna place this search modifier right here. All right, and at this stage you can also sell these 2 experience modifiers that were up here, and you can also sell these 2 minors. Actually, this one no, this minus speed modifier no, but this one right here you can sell it because of the fact that they're not gonna be able to give any experience anymore to like Gauss, like these 2, especially these 2 modifiers. I don't know why I sold the scalar modifiers, but because they were still touching it. But yeah, I just messed up here, but it doesn't really matter. Just I wanted to show you this process, and you can see that after you clone it, even if you can achieve the highest possible damage, so even if you can achieve here 364,185%, see that afterwards you can still earn experience because of the fact that you're still giving experience through the modifiers. And that's why you need to keep on going, and you can increase this amount. Of course, what happens is that, see how slow it's leveling up? It takes so much experience to just gain 1 extra percent that you're gonna need about like 5,000 waves to even be able to reach like 365%, 365,000%. And as you can see here, it's gonna just increase your Gauss damage by 900%. Well, a little bit less than 900, but the overall damage is not gonna really benefit that much, right? By 900%, because you have 364,000. So you can still keep on going. You can still try to give more experience to this Gauss, and you know, you can survive until wave 5,000, 6,000. Any number that you prefer works. But of course, what happens is that this process becomes slower and slower. So you're gonna need to wait more time until you can eventually level up. And remember that each time you're only gaining 1%. So next phase is gonna be 184%, then 185, 86, and you can see it's taking a very long time. So yeah, that's the only thing. So just make sure that you remember this, and yeah, you can try to go for as long as you possibly can, like any wave. I think like some people have said that you can even survive until wave like 10,000 with if you build Gauss in this way. I don't know if that's true or not, and in this case I'm gonna go for more power. Not for the ultimate, because of the fact that I already have a ton of time saved in these miners, so I don't think it's needed to build like any more time. I'm gonna just max these last two scalars that unfortunately I sold. I shouldn't have sold them because I messed up. I sold the modifiers, and then I don't know why I thought that also the miners would be useless, but they were actually useful. So yeah, my bad. And here I'm taking this Gauss that it's level 0, so upgrade level 0, 102 max experience, and you can see that it has 6.54 billion damage. Of course, it's being buffed here by 1 damage modifier, and also it has it's on a damage 5 platform, so you know the damage is already doubled because of this, and then it's gaining 58.5% more damage. So of course this damage is boosted already because of that, but the upgrade level is 0. And look here what happens if I try to upgrade the level 1. See how much more damage I'm gaining? Like I'm gaining more than half damage. I think that's like 80% of damage. So like I'm boosting my damage by a ton. Here I would reach more than 10 billion damage if I just get the first upgrade. So imagine how much more damage you can earn if you upgrade level 10. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you here after I reach 364 185%. Enemies here have roughly around like 7 million HP, maybe some more, 8 million, 9 million, some enemies more than 10 million. So it just depends on the portal. But even if enemies would have like 20 million HP, this Gauss is doing 6.4 billion damage. So it's close to like 10 times higher. And not 10 times, 100 times higher. So that's why you can still keep on one-shotting all these enemies. And now the one-shot that is not coming from Gauss, even though you can see that it's still killing some enemies because of the level 10. Most of the kills are coming from the flamethrower. Now this stage still Splash is doing some pretty decent damage, so he's still killing some enemies. But the more you play, the more HP the enemies get, the more damage starts coming from Flamethrower's ultimate. So you start one-shotting enemies just because of the fact you have this ultimate. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to kill them. Because even if Gauss is bringing them to 6.5% HP, they still have millions of HP left. So you can see that here, this flamethrower is doing 165,000 damage. So that's not even close to 1 million. So that's why the ultimate from flamethrower works so well with Gauss' first ability. And the only problem for the late game is going to be, of course, the fact that these flying enemies can be targeted by both Gauss and by Flamethrower. So at a certain stage of the game, you're gonna need to start using abilities even if you don't want to. because of the fact that these flying enemies are gonna be impossible to be destroyed, because Splash is gonna fall off in the late game. It's not gonna be able to keep on destroying all the flying enemies by itself, and the fact that Gauss will not be able to damage them, it's gonna be a huge loss. So yeah, that's the only problem. You can see here still Splash is able to destroy most of the flying enemies, if not all of them. But the more we play on, the more these flying enemies are gonna have HP, and so it's gonna become unbearable at a certain stage. But that's why you have abilities, and that's why you will be able to keep on going. And if you don't, if you have like portals that spawn no enemies, for example, this one spawns no enemies, also this one, I have like 4 portals that do not spawn flying enemies. That means that the amount of flying enemies that comes out shouldn't be really that great. You can see that here there will be no flying enemies from like wave 528 until wave 607. So no flying enemies in all this amount of time. So that means that I will be able to survive all the time without even using abilities. And that's why you can reach very high amount of waves, even if the enemies become tougher and tougher, and even if there are some flying enemies around. So yeah, so that's the maximum here minus level that I was able to earn. I'm now leaving the timer run out, because in that way I'm just exploiting some of this time and not progressing through the game that quickly. And I'm just exploiting this. Like I have 5 hours here of double mining speed. So yeah, I'm still earning experience here, even if there are no enemies in the screen. So that's why I think it's a pretty good idea. And here I was able to actually reach 664,185%. It's the maximum you could get from the cloning. So see, for example, this jet enemy is already being quite annoying. So yeah, there will be some more here in wave 528, and then thankfully there will be no more until a lot of waves later on. And yeah, I'm just going to show you that you can still earn. See that I already got 2 extra percent since I did the cloning process. I was able to earn 2 extra percent damage. Here I will be earning 3% more, and it still keeps on going. Unfortunately though, it becomes slower and slower, so the more you increase it, the slower it becomes. And then I just wanted to show you this. So which is the highest damage that I can earn through a Gauss like this one. So it's not even super boosted. I could, as I said before, I could just wait here a lot more time until I can't go anymore, because I've used all the abilities. I've really maxed this as much as possible. But I'm gonna just show you here what is the actual damage you can earn if you place here more modifiers. So I'm gonna place here more damage and power. So you can see here my damage now is 13.2 billion. And look here, if I'm gonna upgrade it now, level 10. It becomes 21.6, 33.6, 66. Now it's 108 billion, upgrade level 4. Look at this, 360 billion, 661 billion. And look now what happens. I go past the billion. And when you go past, you reach this T number. This T means trillion. So that's 10 to the 12th in terms of numbers. So that means that there are 12 other numbers behind this comma. So 12 other zeros. So it's an insane amount of damage. And it's only upgrade level 8, so you can still keep on going. Now it's 2.1 trillion, and now it's 3.6 trillion. So yeah, that's just it. So that's the maximum amount of damage you can earn on a Gauss if you build it like this. A Gauss that is going to be fully functional, because it's close to some miners. So it can shoot, it can attack the enemies. And yeah, so with this amount of damage, you can figure out why you can survive until wave 10,000 and probably even more, because you do so much damage that even if enemies start to have billions of HP, you still are doing thousands of damage higher, because you have trillion. So it's like 1,000 times more damage. And yeah, that's it. So that's the video. Just wanted to show you. I didn't want to make it too long. And as I said before, if you want to really go for the highest possible experience, of course you don't want to equip this modifiers. You're gonna just keep on giving experience to it, so you can keep on earning it, like this, for example. And yeah, just another thing for the late game that I just recommend to do is place here around both freezing and especially around flamethrower, place more of these search modifiers, so you can actually target with the flamethrower. You can target the entire map, so you can reach every part of the map, so you can keep on firing at the enemies, and you can keep on one-shotting them using the ultimate. So just remember about that. And for very late waves, you might need to start rotating Gauss, for example, rotating it to the right side here, and then rotating it back again. You're gonna start need to use abilities for like flying enemies or some other type of enemies. But yeah, you can really survive thousands and thousands of waves. So yeah, that was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see ya. Bye bye.